Y'all. So I don't review like Real Housewives and stuff like that, as y'all can see. I have no plans on doing so. But I just gotta get something off my chest after watching part one of the reunion yesterday. I don't like how they tried to come at Candy. Who was it that said it? Was it Marlo? No, it was Sheree who was saying how Candy was talking about she said the things she said in her interviews and in her confessionals about Candy because Candy was talking about her and using her for clickbait on Speak On It. If I'm not mistaken, those Speak On It are recorded once Candy gets a copy of what's to come in the episodes, which means that you was talking shit before she even got to record to speak on it. And I don't like the fact that Andy didn't bring that up, or and maybe Candy didn't even think of it that way in the midst of recording this reunion, or they didn't play that part for us to hear. If she did respond to what Sheree was saying in the way that I'm responding, but I'm just like, what the fuck you mean? She was talking about you. She talked about you on Speak On It after she watched what they had edited and put together for that episode for that week. And then she watches it maybe a week or two before we get to see it. And she responds to what you're saying. So that was all bullshit, Sheree. All bullshit. And it is true. Andy is right. Y'all all talk about each other. Y'all do. But the shit that y'all was saying about Candy, and kept coming at her sexual history and all that kind of stuff, that was some BS. You was Team Marlo, Sheree, and you was coming in backing Marlo up with the bullshit that she was saying about Candy, and she was making her beef with Candy, her storyline. Well, her real storyline should be how she made it and she finally got her peach after all the things that she survived in life. Like that, sharing her growing up with a substance addicted parent who didn't do right by you. You had to run away, so you felt, and the things that you experienced at the hands of in the foster care system and all that kind of stuff. Like that should have been your storyline. Because that's so many people's stories. It's not my personal story, but that's so many people's story. And like we always say, representation matters. And Marlo, you could have went somewhere with this storyline. This what you chose to do, being a mean girl, and now they want to have a whole segment at the end of this reunion where we try to do something and you bring in them fake ass tears so that you can get the public back on your side and try to see where you coming from. Because like they always say, hurt people, right? So you a hurt person and you come in and you do shit to hurt other people's feelings first. And then it's, oh, but you know I'm a foster child and it really hurt me. And I really want to belong. Well, if you really want to belong, you come off as, you know what? I've been here as a friend of the show. But now I'm here as a main peach holder. And let me come off, being cool and see where things can go with me and this group of ladies at this point. Not come off coming at Candy and all that, like all that stuff you did was unnecessary. And the whole thing with your nephews that you told Candy I had to kick them out. But the way you put it to the other ladies is that you had them for 3 years at this point, and you really just, you felt like they was taking what you were giving them for granted, which I can see because that's what teenagers do. They do that. Um, but you put it to the other ladies like, yeah, I needed a break, so they went with my sister. But my whole thing is, you needed a break, so you sent them with your sister, who lives in a 2-bedroom apartment with 4 kids that she's taking care of by herself already. So now for however long that they were with her, so goes the storyline on the show. One woman taking care of 6 kids because you need a break. Make that make sense? I hope that whole thing was just a storyline, and that like you and they just wasn't filming the boys when you continued to film for that month that they supposedly weren't in the house with you. I hope that was just made to look like that for a storyline. I hope you really didn't send them 2 boys over there with your sister, who's already raising 4 children by herself in a 2-bedroom apartment. I really hope you didn't do that. That's it. That's all I got to say. I just had to vent about this reunion real quick because that part really did bother me. And it also bothered me that Sonya, she came off so likable at first. And I could kind of see, because I do the same kind of thing that she does. If I start trying to build a friendship or associate type of relationship with somebody, and I start to see some ways they move that I don't really particularly care for, I'll take a step back from it and treat them accordingly. You know what I'm saying? Because in my mind, if you talk about this person and you do this to this person, well, who's to say you won't do the same shit to me if we are on outs? That's how I think, you know. Or if it's a person that gossip and talk real bad about somebody and then smile in their face when y'all all in a group setting together. My whole thing is, if you doing that with me, talking about them to me, when it's just you and I, but you smiling in their face when we're all together, I'm going to assume you're doing the same thing about me, taking my information or whatever I share with you and talk about me bad when you just with that person or with somebody else. Like, so I get that part, but it's the way she did it. And then, like, she taking too long to get to the point of why she feel the way she feel. Just say you ain't like the way the girl was moving, so you decided to back away and not pursue the friendship. But you ain't have to be mean to her, and you ain't have to come at Drew the way that you've been coming at Drew, because like that you took it too far, and you did it. To me, you did do that whole thing, that mommy nation thing or whatever it's called, mom lit nation or whatever. Like Drew's a mother too, so to disinvite her and only invite Kenya and Candy, because like they said, they got followings and they got a big online presence and they got a lot of fans from this show, and you was trying to use that, you know, to get more following. You was trying to bring their followers in to get more followers on your mommy nation, mom lit nation. Like, just be honest about it. That's what it was. And you wanted to try to assimilate and be in a cool group with them. No, but lo and behold, Kenya and Drew got on a better foot in this season, and I really enjoyed it. And I must say, Kenya plucked my nerves to no end all previous seasons. She really did. But she was, I want to say maybe Kenya might have been my favorite person this whole season. Kenya was the vibe this whole season of Real Housewives of Atlanta. Kenya was the vibe. She was the vibe. She was the mood. She was the, yeah, Kenyonce, or however she says it. Yeah, she was the vibe, the mood, all that. This whole freaking season of Real Housewives of Atlanta. Sheree, you fumbled the bag, babes. I was rooting for you. We all was rooting for you. Insert that Tyra Banks meme at this moment, if somebody got it. We was all rooting for you, but you fumbled real bad. Real bad. With that She by Sheree. Like, you really could, like, you should have talked to Todd and got some business advice on how to launch She by Sheree after the whole spring, summer, September something thing, you know, that whole thing at the reunion that time when about the joggers or whatever. After that, you could have got with Todd. Was Todd even in the picture back then? Because they said it's been 14 years. How many years Candy and Tar been married at this point? Somebody put it in the comments. But anyway, like, yeah, you got some people. You be in the room of the know who knows and stuff like that. I mean, your focus was on getting Chateau Sheree together, and I ain't even gonna lie. That house is what they showed us on here. I know that what they showed us, what we see, doesn't do the in person view justice. I know it. I know that house is beautiful. Way more beautiful, opulent, and all those things in person than we have seen on this show. So I get that. But the kids grown. And getting She by Sheree off the ground the right way, that would have helped take care of those kids. That would have helped way more with taking care of your kids and taking care of your family. And I just wanted to work for you, Sheree. I really did. Because I do think, like, whatever nip tucks and all that kind of stuff you've done over the years is not for me to say. And it really don't matter because the body is banging. But just stop body shaming Drew. I just want y'all to stop doing that. Stop body shaming that lady. That lady has gone through uh reproductive health issues, having a baby just like the rest of y'all, and everything. And y'all make her feel bad. Like, she did try to do the drop it with Drew. She did become the face of somebody else's program. But she did it. She kind of tried to stay on top of her business and make it look, you know, decent for us, even though we saw right through it with the whole banner outside and all that stuff of that place when they actually had to drop it with Drew of it. But Sheree, back to you, like, you could have been got this She by Sheree off. And it could have been more than joggers. It could have been like on the level of Lululemon, Athletica, all that kind of stuff. It could have been like Shein before Shein was even thought about or came along. You know? Dang it. I'm hoping that you go back to the drawing board and you really put what you need to do, put into it and make it a for real thing. Cause Sheree, your body is banging. I can't even lie. I wish I had that body. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I wish I had the body. And also, you could get some investors to help. But this can be a big something for you where you won't even have to come back to Real Housewives. Because I'm sure that this whole fashion show and this whole She by Sheree thing, this was your storyline. And the whole Tyrone thing, this was your storyline and the reason for them bringing you back for another season of the show. I know that's what this was, you know. You can have a for real, genuine storyline with you seeking investors and doing what you need to do to make She by Sheree a real thing, if that's what's really in your heart to do. And I'm not sure if that's what's really in your heart, but I'm saying it's a viable choice to, build wealth for you and for your kids. That's all I'm saying. I dig most of y'all ladies on this show. And I just wish all of y'all nothing but the best. And with that being said, I'm going to be out because it's almost 15 minutes at this point. Make sure you click the like and subscribe buttons on your way in or on your way out. Peace out, y'all.